everybody. This is Sherry. I have been slacking on videos for a while, and I thought that I would get on here and do some videos. It's been a hot minute, and I just think it's time to. I say that all the time. It's been a hot minute. I think I've said that several times. I get into these phases where I'm consistent, and then I just stop. And this time, my excuse is that I started a job. I started working in the emergency room department as a crisis trauma counselor, and that's what I've been doing. So I've been doing that for the last 3 months. So if you could see, there's been a decline in my videos the last 3 months, and my schedule is going to change a little bit. So I'm really excited about that, and I'll be on more of a normal schedule so I can jump on here and do these things. So I wanted to talk a little bit about meditation, and I have challenged myself again, and I have done this several times in the past couple of years. I've challenged myself to do a meditation every single day for an hour a day, and this time I'm doing it again. I'm already on day 6 of that. That's probably why I'm doing the videos, to be honest, because I've been doing an hour a day in the morning, and so I have really it's only been 6 days, and actually I started a little bit early. I think it's probably been more like 8 days, and I've already noticed so many significant changes within myself, and I go through this part where I'm just like, why did I stop? Why did I stop doing it? And I've just noticed that I go back into some patterns, and that I think that all of us do. We go back into these patterns where we're comfortable, and meditation is not very comfortable if it's just not. And the reason why that it's not comfortable is because the ego is going to get shut down. And the ego doesn't want to be shut down. The ego wants to be in control, and the ego loves to be in fight or flight response. And typically, that's where we operate mostly, is fight or flight response. And so what meditation does is it calms that down, where it's not doing that anymore. And pretty soon it's like there's just all the noise starts to subside, and you can hear, and it's easier to listen to voice, listen to God, or listen to source. Whatever that thing is that's beating your heart, that's the voice you want to listen to. And when we're not slowing down and we're not quiet, it's really difficult to listen to that. And a lot of times I'll be like, I don't know which way to go. I don't know what to do. And do I do this over here, or do I do that over there, or what decision do I make? And I just get into this whole wrestling match, and none of that is source. None of that is source. People will say, well, what voice do I listen to? It's none of that. You don't listen to any of that because it's not any of that. It's that voice that you will know without question that that's source, and that's God. It will just drop in like you just have a knowing. There is really no magic to it. You just know. There is no deciphering which way do I go or what decision do I make, because that voice will drop in and will tell you very clearly what it is. It's just that most of us don't hear it because we're woo busy, and we're doing all these tasks, and I know that's how I've been. And I just had, the reason why I went into this challenge for myself again was because I lay down one night, and it was so noisy in my head. I mean, it was just a lot of noise. It was like static on a radio, just is how it felt. And it was just almost unbearable, where I was just like, I'm not going to, my spirit within me was just like, this has got to be different. We got to change this. And so that's when I set this goal to meditate for 100 days, an hour a day. So many things have come out of that. And one of them is being able to listen and really be quiet. And I just feel more at peace with everything. And the other part of it too that happens when you do this, when you actually sit and you're quiet, is that you will have emotions. Emotions will come up. And that's the beauty of it, because I think for me, I shut that down sometimes. I think we all do. I mean, I think if you're a human being, you probably do that, where you shut that down, and I think we're in a world where we do that, where we push it down so far to the point where like we're just either really sad or we're numb. Like we're not coming out of it. It's just stuck there somewhere in our body. And I know for me, that's been the case, I think that most of us are emotionally constipated. And I know that's a weird way to say it, but really that's what it is. It's holding shit in, really actually emotionally and physically. We're holding it in our bodies and we become constipated. And actually, in reality, we're constipated. And that's a proponent of disease. I know this sounds really weird, but it's true. It's like the moment you start to let it go, guess what? Your body's going to recalibrate, and it's going to start letting things go. It's going to start letting the shit go that you've held in for so long. And I was diagnosed with colon cancer and know exactly where it comes from. I know it's because of holding stuff in for so long. Holding stuff in for so long and not dealing with things. So, like, for example, when I say not dealing with things, the meditation is showing me, and God is showing me these things that I have pushed down or pushed aside. And one of the things that came up recently was fear around scans. So if you've been diagnosed with anything, you know that there's scans. And even if you're not diagnosed with anything, you go through these appointments and you have to get these regular scans and make sure it stays gone and all that stuff. And I've had this overwhelming anxiety come up and this fear come up around every time I go get a scan, it comes up. And it feels heavy in my heart and it's scary, and I would just ignore it. I'm like, okay, well, this is part of the process. Like, you're gonna have anxiety going and getting these scans. So instead of actually dealing with it, I just ignored it. I don't advise that. So instead of ignoring it and just saying, I'm anxious, and I'm afraid of this and all that, and I have this fear. And then people will go, well, that makes sense. You would have the fear, you've gone to the hospital and this stuff, all these things happen to you there, and that's why you would have it. That makes sense. However, I'm still not dealing with it. And so I decided to face it versus running from it. And facing it means getting to know the fear, sitting with the fear. So it's just closing your eyes and, okay, what is this fear? What is this about? What is coming up for me around this? What am I really scared of? And typically the first answer is not the answer. It's usually deeper than that. And I just started to realize that it was going back to, I had a memory come up, which was, I had a memory of playing the keyboard when I was little. I know I was like 5 years old. And I got this keyboard and I was just playing it and I was learning how to play songs on it. And I played for hours and I played for days. And I don't ever know what happened to the keyboard or where it went or any of that stuff. But I remember somebody saying, wow, she's really paying attention and she's really into that keyboard. And for some reason I shut down that event. I shut that down and I never picked up a keyboard again. I never entertained playing the piano or anything. So something somewhere in that shut down. That creative side of me, that artistic side of me that I've been missing was shut down. And that was a memory that came up during this meditation. And then it even went even deeper into this fear of the belief I have had of, if I actually do this thing, Like if I write this book and put this book out there and really promote the book, it's not like my last one over there. I didn't do anything with it. And I really promote it, and I really say this is who I am, and this is what's happened, and this is what I do, that I will die. That I will not make it if I actually do the thing. And if I go and I speak in front of lots of people, I will die. If I have this great relationship with the man of my dreams, I will die. That somehow I won't get that thing. So then I just don't go to the thing. Right? Because I have this fear that I'm going to die. And in that, I realized that if I have a fear that I'm going to die if I do it, I'm not actually living. I already might as well be dead, because I'm not actually living in the truth of who I am. Right? So if I do this thing, if I go and be great, if I dare myself to be great, that somehow I will die. And that is what came up for me. And that is the thing about meditation that happens, is these things come up, things that you would never in a million years think it was, because you're not thinking from your head. That's why it's so important to do, and I highly encourage you to do it. I am actually going to be doing some guided meditations, and I think that would hopefully help some people, because I know when I first started it was really difficult, and I had a hard time with it, and I kept falling off the meditation wagon. I would start, and then I would, this isn't working. Well, it's not working because your ego doesn't want it to work. Your ego does not want to die. Your ego wants to be in charge. It wants to be in fight or flight. It wants to go, I got to go do other things. This isn't important. And I'm telling you, one of the most important things you can do for your life is to be quiet and listen to your heart, and listen to the thing that's beating your heart, whether it's God or universe or whatever that thing you believe is beating your heart. The most important thing you can do is listen to it. I'm telling you, that is where the answers are. They're not outside of you. So many of us, and me too, have struggled. Like, I got to fix this out here. If I fix this out here, everything will be better. That is not true. It's an illusion. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't matter how many things you fix on the outside of you, you're still going to feel the same way inside. You will still feel the same way inside. You might have fleeting moments of victory. They are very fleeting. The substance and the real, genuine joy and fulfillment is in here. It's within the heart. It's not coming from the head. And setting goals from a head place, that's great. You'll probably get them, and you can get them from your head, but you are not going to feel as fulfilled as if you set your goals from your heart. Like, what is your soul crying out for? So ask yourself, why do I want that thing? I know I'm all off on a tangent. Why do I want that goal? I'm on goals right now because it's the new year and everybody's going crazy with goals. So, and resolutions. Why do you want that? Ask yourself why 5 times so that you get the answer. Because if you ask why at first, it's like, why do you want to help people? I want to change the world. Well, that's BS, because it's not really true. It's actually deeper than that. So for me, it's like, that would have been my first thought. Yeah, I want to help the world. I want to change things. That's actually partly true. But if you start diving down deeper into it, for me, it's like having just this heart. It just fills my heart when I can talk to somebody and they create a movement and they create transformation. It creates transformation for me at the same time. It does. It's not just a one-way thing. It's all reciprocal. And the things that you tell other people, you're telling yourself at the same time, whether they are good or bad. So it does something for me. It's not that I just want to change the world. I mean, that's great. But as I'm doing this work, I'm changing within myself, which hopefully changes the outside. It's inside out, not outside in. I can move lots of things around, and it's not going to matter if I move things around outside of me. It's coming from in here. That's why I love meditation so much. And I have missed it, and I had fallen off the meditation wagon. I wasn't doing it very much, off and on here and there. But now I'm committed to this goal and it's actually creating a habit for me, which is what I love. And since then, I have picked up the guitar and I'm playing the guitar. I am picking up Spanish, and I'm also creating art. And it's things that I love doing. It's things that I love to do. So, are you willing to take on a challenge for yourself? Are you willing to meditate for 100 days? Maybe you don't have to do an hour. Maybe you just commit to doing 10 minutes a day and build up from there. Are you willing to start? I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. You will see some phenomenal results in your life when you do it. All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox for now. Until next time, see you then. Bye-bye.